Hi, my name is Krishana White from Aurora, Colorado, and this is the story of my daughter, Abbi'S. When I was pregnant with my son, Bryce, I had a recurring dream, and the dream was that my child was born without skin. My son was born in 1994, completely healthy, all skin intact.
There is freedom within, there is freedom without. Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup.
In 1997, I became pregnant with my daughter, Abbi'S. We were expecting a completely healthy child, normal delivery, and she came out. And the doctors were kind of speechless.
There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost.
They cut her cord and rushed her right to the warming bed.
Hey now, don't dream it's over.
The nurse took her to the warming bed, wiped her off really quick, wrapped her up in a blanket, put a hat on her, and they handed her to me. And she was absolutely beautiful, just looked so perfect. And she started to cry. And you know when you make a bubble with your saliva in your mouth? She started to cry and made a bubble of blood in her mouth. But the pediatric doctor on call down in the NICU that night, he came up and said, I know this is very traumatic for you. I know a personal friend of mine who's a dermatologist over at the University of Colorado, works in conjunction with children. I'm going to call him and have him come see her.
Hey now, don't dream it's over.
Dr. Weston and Dr. Bellis came down and saw her, Abby, the next day, down in the NICU. And they looked at her once and said, we know exactly what she has. We know exactly what's going on.
We know they won't win.
They believe that she has recessive dystrophic EB, that they would have to do a skin biopsy to confirm that that was what their diagnosis was right at that point, and that they would have one of their nurses come down and show me how to wrap her, because she would have to be wrapped with dressings at least every other day, if not every day. She was about 4 months old, and she was in her swing. And we would pad everything, like with sheepskin. Everything was padded. She couldn't get on the floor unless there was a nice soft blanket or sheepskin on the floor. And I went to pick her up out of the swing. She slipped. And my hand went from her thigh all the way up to underneath her arm.
Oh, no.
And I took off all of her skin right there.
Now I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting the steps to the door of your heart.
We were walking through the park, and I was holding her hand like this, and she was just learning how to walk. She was just the sweetest little thing. She fell, and I didn't let go of her hands. And I so should have let go of her hands, because both of her hands came off like a glove.
Oh, man.
Don't dream it's over.
In tears in the park, I'm sitting there putting her, literally sticking her fingers back into her skin like a glove.
They come to build a wall between us. We know they won't win.
And I did not even put two and two together until Abby was about a year. And I realized, oh my gosh, I had this dream when I was pregnant with Bryce. I actually realized and remembered that I had this dream at a time where I was very down, and I was very, I had people tell me that she was going to die, and that I really couldn't, I was preparing myself for my daughter to die. And I then realized that, I was meant to have her, and I was meant to have her in my life, because I did dream about her. She was with me before I even had her.
Now I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting the steps to the door of your heart.
She knows that she's different. She knows that she has this disease. She understands very well. She wants to go live with Jesus so that Jesus can take away her boo-boos.
Awesome.
Is her thing, and she knows that.
My stinging, all that.
Hey now, don't dream it's over.
They're very hopeful. When Abby was born, I had one doctor tell me that she wasn't going to live to be 6 months old. I had another doctor tell me that there was going to be a cure within her lifetime, but we don't know when.
We know they won't win.
And so we hope it will happen eventually. You're going to have doctors in your lives, and you're going to have nurses in your lives, and you're going to have surgeries and procedures done for the rest of their life until a cure is found. Before Abby was born, I would take my son anywhere. They had an ER if he needed to go. After Abby was born, there's no way I would take my children any place else but Children's Hospital. It's an amazing place.